Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode. The Nano Banana Pro in Google Flow is a smart tool for reasoning. That means it is very good at following instructions inside the flow. So in this very video, we are going to see how we can use Nano Banana Pro inside Flow to make some really precise edits. So with this said, with this context set, let's dive into the video and let's see things in action. So in order to get started, we would need a base image and over which we will be performing some edits. So I've got a prompt which will generate the base image for us. Now let me send it to Nano Banana Pro to generate that image. So these are the two images that we have got. Now over here, if you look at my prompt, it says a very realistic indoor photograph of an aesthetic young woman sitting on the floor of a cozy sunlit living room reading a hardcover book. So my prompt, I designed this prompt in a way that we get several elements in this image over which we could then perform some precise edits. So I'm going to open this image, and now once I've opened it, we see several controls over it. We see this bar over here which contains several edit options for me. Now if you look at this image, I get several elements. I'm getting a pet animal over here. I'm getting a few plants here and there. Then there is a book that this lady is handling. And then she has got a very undressed kind of hairstyle right now. So we are going to see how we can edit all these precise elements. So let's start with something simple. Now I'm inside this canvas where it says edit image. So whatever I write in this prompt box, Nano Banana Pro is going to interpret that and directly apply whatever I say onto the image that is being shown on the canvas right now. So let's do something simple. I'm just going to say change the color of the sweater to maybe red. So Nano Banana Pro is intelligent and it's going to figure out what sweater I'm talking about. I've not necessarily told Nano Banana Pro that I'm talking about the sweater on the girl. So Nano Banana Pro is going to figure that out and just simply change the sweater's color to red. Let's see that. And yes, so we can see that the sweater has changed the color. The character is consistent. It has not really changed the character for us. Everything else, all the styles of the image, all the elements I think are still intact. I can still see the pet animal also on the sofa. Cool. Now let's push it a little harder now. And let's push it a little harder and let's see what it comes up. So what we are going to do next is we are going to change everything else but the character. So the character should remain consistent, but everything else, the surroundings should change. Let's prompt to an empty hall. So what I've said now is change the background to an empty hall, keep the character consistent, and let's see what it comes up. So I'm going to use the original image and let's see. Yeah. So it has now changed the environment to an empty hall kind of thing, but my character, the pose, everything else is still the same. The image altogether does not look super realistic, but yes, I think Nano Banana Pro was able to do the job pretty well. All right. So now let's push it even harder. But before that, all these images that we generated, we can go back and we can find all the images that we edited over here. So let me pick the original image again and let me do an even better edit this time. So over here on the very top, we see a set of tools over here. Now, the very first tool that we see is called a Doodle. Now, if I choose that, and then I could draw something with this Doodle selected, and I'm just going to prompt it, or rather I'm going to change this cat to a dog. So I'm going to say a golden retriever. So Nano Banana should now understand that I'm talking about this selected area and it should put a golden retriever over there. Let's see if it is able to get that. And yes, so we see that the cat has now been replaced with the golden retriever dog on the same couch at the same position. Pretty cool. Let's say if I wanted to go a step further and I want some kind of cap on this lady over here. So Nano Banana should be able to interpret. Now this is very much self-obvious, the shape I've drawn. So Nano Banana Pro should be able to figure out that, okay, the baseball cap is required on the top of the head of this woman. Let's see if it is able to get that also. I'm just going to say a baseball cap. Let's hit enter. So yes, a baseball cap has been added on the head of this woman, but I wanted the hood on the other side. So you will have to try a few edits. You will have to try a few times to get that perfect fit or to get that perfect direction that you wanted. But for most of the parts, it should work this way. Now we can go even further, and these the edits that we did this time, those were actually pretty obvious. Let's go more into the background of this image and see if Nano Banana can push its limit and change things in the background which are not very much highlighted, which are a little blurred. So now let me draw a doodle this time on this painting on the very far end over here. And let's see if Nano Banana Pro can change that. I'm going to say, I'm going to say replace the painting with a clock. And let's see if it is able to do this. Okay, so I think it got confused. I was talking about the painting on the further end, but it in fact changed the painting a little before on the direct wall over here. Okay, so it got a little confused. Maybe we'll have to try a few more times to get it exactly that. But let us try something else. Let us say that change everything on this shelf or replace all the plants with books in this shelf. Replace all the plants with books in this, on the shelf rather, on this shelf. Let's see if it is able to get that. So yes, this time it has done the job pretty well. I don't really see any plants on this shelf, but it has forgotten to remove this marker that we added. So probably Nano Banana Pro got confused and it has embedded that highlights, that lines into the generated image again. So this is something that you will have to give it a few more tries, and in one of the tries you will see that actually this marker or this highlighting is not coming back. All right, so let's get back to the original image again and let's take it a step further and also understand a few more tools now. But before that, I believe Nano Banana Pro can very well change things in the background. It can edit those. It can also very well, very precisely change things in the foreground of the main subject. Cool. Fine. Now there's another very important tool, the arrow tool over here. And if I draw something over here, I'm pointing to this speaker over here, and I'm going to say replace the speaker with a lamp, or replace the speaker for a lamp. And let's see. Yeah. So now we see that that speaker is gone, and in place of that, we get a very beautiful lamp over here. Okay. Now let us do something more. Let's get back to the original image over here. Let me pick this pointer again. And now I'm going to point to this carpet area over here. Okay. And let's say change the carpet. And yes, we can see a different carpet this time. All right, so now let's try a different tool. We have learned about the arrow tool. Now there is this selection tool over here. Let's choose this. And now I'm going to make a box around this. Okay, and I'm going to say the same instruction. I'm going to give it the same prompt, a table lamp. Now, the thing to note over here is that I have not really said anything like change it or replace it with a table lamp. I'm just saying a table lamp. And let us see if it is able to figure out if I really want a table lamp instead of whatever is there in the box over there. Let's see if it is able to get it. So yes, it was able to figure out that I wanted the item inside that box to be changed to a table lamp. So it has added a table lamp over there. Now, let me come back to the previous original image. Now, so far what we have seen is we have been trying single tools, right? Now we did the Doodle tool and it worked just fine. The arrow tool worked too. And then we chose the selection tool. What if we could mix multiple tools together? Let's see that how Nano Banana Pro behaves in that case. So I'm going to choose the selection tool over here. I'm going to draw a box here. And then I'm also going to choose this arrow tool. And I'm going to point to this box over here. And I'm going to say a table lamp. Now, the thing to note over here again is I'm just saying a table lamp. I'm not really saying change it or replace it with a table lamp. So let's see. So Nano Banana Pro didn't really change anything over here, but it has added a new table lamp just beside the speaker. So I think it got confused as to we added multiple tools in this image. We added a box and then we also added a arrow. So multiple tools together, I think that confuses Nano Banana Pro, and you will have to give it a few more tries if you want to use multiple tools. But I believe using single tools for precise edits just works fine. So just be cautious whenever you want, if you ever encounter a scenario where you feel like you will have to use multiple tools, just be cautious over there. All right. So now let's go back to our original image over here, and let's choose the selection tool over here again, and let's select this part of the window. Now, this selection tool actually helps you to in-paint items into this selected region. Now, if you look again at the selection that we have done, we have included a part of window, we have included the couch also, and we have included a few plants also over here. But what I'm going to say is, I'm going to tell specifically that you replace this part of the window with a wall, for a wall. So let's see if Nano Banana Pro can actually replace this or do the job. So yes, it has changed the window for a wall now. So I think this keyword that we added over here, replace, actually helped Nano Banana Pro to actually understand the prompt very clearly. Now let's come back to our original image. And there's one more thing I would like to show you that I forgot to mention earlier. With this doodle, I can actually have multiple selections done. So for example, what I mean is, let me select this part over here, and then let me change the color, select a green one, and select this pet animal over here. And let's say now I could tell Nano Banana Pro that, okay, do something different with the red selection, with the red doodle, and do something different with the green one. So I'm going to say add flowers to the red marked area and change the green marked area with a golden retriever. And let's see if it is able to do that. So, yes, it was able to figure out that I wanted some flowers of this area, and it has also changed the animal to a dog, to a golden retriever in this case. So, now there is one another super important tool, and we are going to see how it works. Now, that is the annotation tool over here. Okay. So, now how I could make it work was, I'll have to use this Inpainting tool or the selection tool, and I'm going to select the face of this woman over here. Then I'm going to use this arrow tool just to point to this box over here, and then I'm going to annotate it. So I'm going to say make the woman look towards the camera. Okay, so maybe it is a little hard for you to read, but I've written just as much that make the woman look towards the camera. Now, I know that both these tools together did not work in one of our previous experiment, but this time I've used another tool, annotation tool, to exactly tell Nano Banana Pro what it is supposed to do. And then on the top of it, I'm going to prompt it to exactly follow the edit whatever I've written as an annotation. So I've told it that you should follow the edit instructions on the annotations. And let's see if it is able to get that. So yes, it was able to figure that out, and it has actually changed the pose of the person now. So this works quite well. So sometimes what I found was that even if you annotate it and you use multiple tools together, it is still going to leave those selections, those annotations, and those arrow marks on the image. So what we can do then is just ask Nano Banana Pro to remove all the extra things, all the markings that we have done, all the annotations, just remove those, and it will be able to do that. So that way also you can refine your images even further. Now there is another important or super cool thing that we can do with Nano Banana Pro. There is something called as outpainting the image. So what outpainting mean is that you can increase the surface area of the image. Now, what exactly it means is that you can increase your image from all the other sides. Okay, so let's actually see this and let's see how it works. I'm going to say, what I've said is outpaint the image from all sides. Let's see that if it is able to outpaint it actually, and we could see even more of the landscape, even more of the scenery, even more of the background that we have right now. So yes, I think it is able to do it. It has given us even more idea about the background. It has expanded the image equally from all the sides. So I think it did pretty well when it comes to outpainting from all the sides. But can we just do it from one side? So let's say that just outpaint it from the right hand side only. So I'm going to say outpaint the image from the right side. And let's see if it is able to get that also. So yes, it was able to do that, but it kind of, disturbed the couch placement over here. It should have brought it or sent it back. Maybe you'll have to try a few more iterations over here and then figure out the best way if you want to increase your image on the right hand side. And then if you didn't really like any part of the image that was generated, the same rules apply again. You can choose a doodle or an Inpainting box and change something inside that, or you know remove something from there. All right, so that's it for this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button for this video. Consider subscribing to my channel to watch more related content, and this channel is entirely supported by viewers like you, so your support really matters. All right, then I see you in the next video. You have a good rest of your day, but until then, stay awesome.